com vocês? E aí, estou aqui com vocês jogando Vampyr pela segunda vez neste lindo e maravilhoso canal. Aí, agora eu vou compartilhar a live antes de começar a continuar o jogo. Aí, se você tá ouvindo essa live depois de eu ter finalizado ela, se inscreve no canal se não é inscrito aí pra me ajudar. Compartilha o canal pra ajudar também. E faz qualquer coisa pra poder ajudar o canal. Compartilha, se inscreve e assim por diante. Aí agora eu vou colocar para falar e continuar o jogo. Caraca, já teve comentário, gente, eu não vi. Nem apareceu lá no canto. Deixa eu ver no YouTube aqui, calma, porque eu coloquei o grupo pra falar. Adicione nick. Agora. Davi, depois eu te adiciono, beleza? Ou você me adiciona. Eu vou colocar aí no chat pra depois você me adicionar. Porque senão vai aparecer. Quando eu for tentar te adicionar, vai ficar uma tela azul. Então é melhor você me adicionar. Eu espero que o chocolate não comece a chorar ou latir, que senão vai atrapalhar um pouco. Cuidado ao vender itens, pois alguns ingredientes são difíceis de colocar e podem ser essenciais para desbloquear fórmulas mais avançadas. Calma, esqueci de compartilhar para outras pessoas, live. E o chocolate tá ativo. Vou compartilhar pouco também. Deixa eu colocar de novo pra falar.
We'll have a word in my office later, Jonathan.
Come on, you bastard! You can do better than that! Nah, it's my turn!
Rotten bureaucracy. Each heart contains the source of life. Drink at this river. Try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. Me guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Qualidade do sangue indica quanto XP você receberá de um cidadão em particular. Quanto maior a qualidade de sangue, mais XP você recebe.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
Siga o resto.
In the back, you bastard! Didn't have the guts to fight me. Fuck you. I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
To taste a life, to embrace its most intimate secrets. Such a burden, such a divine sin.
It's locked. Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised. I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease,
Oh,
especially
my
from a
God.
nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
It's freezing here.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I apologize, nurse. I needed some time to myself. This has been the longest and strangest night of my life.
You delivered poor Mr. Hampton from a terrible fate. The means to that end should be of little concern, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
Thank you, Nurse Crane. Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Not now.
I cannot enter.
Deve ser lá em cima, né? Deixa eu tentar pela outra porta. Encontre seu escritório no segundo andar. Paciente Thomas, Dr. Lewis.
It's locked. This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
Corpo. Condição corporal. Mordida forte. Querido John, perdi a enfermeira Crane para providenciar um escritório para você no segundo andar. Por favor, releve a decoração simples, pois o hospital está longe de ser tenha. Lamento por deixá-lo conhecer esse escritório sozinho, mas preciso dormir um pouco antes de voltar ao trabalho. Afinal, sou um mero mortal. Também pedi para o deixarem descansar ou que nenhum funcionário entrasse na sua sala. Você poderá dormir o dia inteiro sem ser perturbado e trabalhar à noite sem levantar suspeitas. Receio que o lugar esteja um tanto bagunçado, mas você terá liberdade como conduzir seus experimentos no seu próprio ritmo. Você também verá que há uma janela aberta. Tá, eu já me perdi toda.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
See you again.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Cadogan fellow.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful. Tomorrow, more bodies will arrive.
Please come back later. I'm busy right now.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Investigação dos cidadãos. Aqui aparecerão as investigações sobre cidadãos de acordo com o distrito. Para iniciar e retratar uma nova missão de cidadão, use o quadrado, depois acesse o seu mapa para ver as pessoas na região.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities. It's locked, all right.
Análise. Previna doenças. Tem uma
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood. Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
Sweet girl. Reading me like a book. I'm so tired. I never could keep anything from her.
Damn. The pain. It's here again.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure...
You have a keen...
No need to explain, Doc...
Goodbye, Milton.
And I thought last summer's epidemic was different.
Me will not further your agenda, sir.
How long's it going to take to fix me properly? A month?
A year! You have the right to disapprove of our methods. And you will kindly
Déjà vu.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now. If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from mortals. But what about my thirst for blood? Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody. Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful. Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza. This key will surely grant me access to the basement. It's locked. I cannot enter. Voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody,